Welcome. Hold on a second. Welcome to the current situation at Manchester United. Hope you guys are enjoying the morning so far. It's where I'm from. It's somewhat rainy morning. I took a walk about 35 to 45 minutes. It was kind of dark at even after 7 o'clock. It was somewhat dark, and when I was coming back home, it was very much outcast because this morning it was kind of drizzly. So yeah, I just say that to say I enjoyed my morning so far. It's still morning, but so far I'm enjoying it. I have to give my disingenuous disclaimer that this video is going to be a lengthy one. I did say that in my previous podcast, but just thought to put it out there on the plate. So let's get right into it, right? So, hold on a second. Notifications. Um, yeah. So where should we begin? Okay, I don't know what is up. First of all, before I get into football matters, I don't know what is up with people. Meaning, like, it's once said that whenever you're going shopping, you should never go shopping on an, especially if you're going to buy food. If you're going to buy in bulk, or you just want to buy food to, fill up your stomach at least for 2 hours or something, or you're just buying food, just to, to reshuffle the shelf or something, the cupboard. It is said that you shouldn't you shouldn't buy food on an empty stomach. You shouldn't buy food on an empty stomach. Like, Ron, what are you getting at, man? What's the point, bro? What's the pitch? My thing is, I don't know if you're a Christian or you're somewhat spiritual, but there's this. I'm going to give you two Bible stories, right? Two Bible stories. One is the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. Now, Adam and Eve in the Eden, um, Garden of Eve, I wish, um, was probably got the name because she ate the other food, but yeah, Adam was elsewhere and Eve was somewhat alone. And going back to old adage, there's an adage that says, "Lone idle company." Wait, like when you're, I don't remember. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but it's along the lines of when you're idle or you don't have anything to do, mystery finds its company or something like that. Again, please correct me in my comment sections down below. Comment sections down below. But it's along those lines. And there was a certain serpent that came into the Garden of Eden and just came in her ears and said, "Hey, eat this apple. It's shiny, it's so juicy, it's round. Eat that apple." He said, "I don't know you. I have a husband. I'm taken. And plus, God said we shouldn't eat that fruit, so I'm not going to eat that fruit." You're going to eat it. Come on, just take one sweet, juicy bite. Just one bite, please. Come on, one bite. Okay, just one bite. One bite is all enough. I should take that bite, Zine. And all of a sudden, here we are. Here we are living in sin. Just because a bitch ate the apple that she was supposed to eat. I know we're living in sin just because of that shit. And I say that, and the other story that I want to allude to is that there is these two brothers known as Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau. And Jacob, without getting lengthy, because I don't, this is not a Bible class. Um, so yeah, Jacob was cooking and probably lentils or some veggie meat, actually veggie soup. And Esau, after hunting, he was hot and bothered. He was hungry. He wanted to eat. And Jacob, like he said to Jacob, "Yo, bro, give me a bowl of soup. I'm hungry. I've been I've been in the field fighting. I've been hunting all day. I'm hungry. Give me something to eat. Give me some of that soup you've been stirring all day." And I said, "Oh, you want some of this soup, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I'm hungry, man. Just give me some of the soup. Give me some of my soup." And I said, "All right." First of all, you go give me a birthright, meaning that I'll be the older brother in the books. I might not look like it because again, Jacob was the younger one out of Esau. Esau was the hairier one, more with a lot of testosterone. He was the more masculine one, and the older brother. And Jacob was a mama's boy in so many words. He was a mama's boy. Um, so Jacob said, "Yeah, you go give me a birthright, and I'll give you some of this nice soup." I said, "Yo, bro, just take what you want, man. Just give me the soup. Just give me the soup." And he said, "All right, bitch. Here's the soup and drink it." And he drank the soup, and without getting lengthy, his dying father, which was somewhat blind, mostly blind, I should say, wanted to bless them, wanted to bless them, and seeing that he was blind, like it said that once one of your senses is gone, your other senses compensate, meaning that if one sense if one sense is lacking, then other sense is going to catch up. It's going to enhance its sensitivity. Like if you can't see, you will hear better. If you can't taste, you will see better. Or so I wanted to bless Esau because Esau was supposed to be hunting, which was one of the reasons why he was hunting in the field. Get to the point. Jacob manipulated his brother into getting his blessing from his father. Again, Esau was supposed to get the blessing, but since he gave up his birthright for Jacob giving him a bowl of soup, he didn't care that much. And Esau wanted to kill Jacob. So I said that to say, all of us, we have a urge for hunger. That is our inclination. That's our biological build-up. We were made to eat, but we're mostly made to move as well. Rowan, what's a pitch, bro? I mean, isn't this a football podcast or something? Yeah, but I'm saying this, bro. This is what I'm trying to say. Hunger, hunger can defeat a nation. That's what I'm saying. Hunger can defeat a nation. Trust me. Whenever you're hungry, there are some stupid thoughts that you're going to make. And if you're not hungry, but you just have a scratch to itch, like eating some kind of I don't know, some kind of different foods that no one ever tried or something. Like for example, eating bats. You get what I'm saying for the past 7 minutes. You know what? You get what I'm saying, right? Hunger allows us to eat anything. Like whenever we are hungry, bro, our social programming from our societal norms is going to diminish significantly when we're hungry. Whenever we're very hungry, we'll go in animal mode into we'll go to hunt because we have to survive. That is our instinct to survive. Our bodies doesn't want to be shut down. What am I trying to say? Coronavirus has affected a lot of people just because of one bowl of bad soup from China. And ever since that shit came on the scene, everything has been haywire, has been mayhem, has been chaos. This morning it's been about like over. It said that the coronavirus killed like 4,000 people already, potentially more as we speak. And we've seen that coronavirus has affected football. And this is where I'm going to segue into football. Football, there are some football matches that will be playing today. Sorry, mostly Champions League football. It said that most Champions League games, that if not all of them, will be played today and tomorrow, and the games that be played today and tomorrow for Champions League. Those games that will be played are going to be played behind closed doors. What do I mean by closed door? Meaning that the games won't be suspended, they won't be how should I say it? They won't be put off, they won't be delayed, well they might delay, but highly doubtful the fans are not going to turn up because they're very suspicious and suspectful of fans having the coronavirus. They don't want the coronavirus to affect the footballers and other clean people, I should say. So they don't want the virus near them. They don't want the virus near them. I'm bringing and twirling this back to football. Coronavirus in La Liga. It is said that in their next two fixtures, coronavirus is, but in their next two fixtures, their games will be playing behind closed doors, so no fans will attend the stadium, whether it's home or away. Just the footballers, just the referee, just the substitution, just the manager, if he turns up. So yeah, the most games will be playing behind closed doors. Like for example, Juventus played yesterday against AC, no, and AC, Inter Milan. I don't want to hear that much. If Yeah, and it was played behind closed doors because going back to international news like CNN and Al Jazeera, Corona has mashed up Italia in terms of sickness. Like a lot of people, it said that it's trending on Twitter. Italy's been locked down because of coronavirus, and we have seen the effects it has done to football. Like like I mentioned earlier, La Liga next two games played behind closed doors. UCL, not UCLA, it's in LA. UCL Champions League will be playing behind closed doors with PSG and Dortmund and Tottenham and Leipzig. Again, I don't watch German football, but yeah, those games will play behind closed doors just because of the coronavirus. And even United have confirmed that their their next fixture in the EuroLeague against Lask, I think that's pronounced Lask. Yeah, Lask will be played behind closed doors. So no fans will show up, just the footballers will show up and the manager and the water boy if he's brave. Um so yeah, so basically those are the like Corona. Like the last time I've heard of a game played behind closed doors was Barcelona when Spain was having this delineation of Spain and Catalonia. Catalonia, that was in 2017 or 2018, early part of 2018, early part of 2018. That's the last time I've heard of a game, apart from a sickness played behind closed doors. Barcelona was playing this game at home at the Camp Nou, and because of the election or Catalonia versus Spain, they didn't have the funds to go there because they were campaigning. So that's the last time I've heard about uh a game played behind closed doors. Let's throw this back to Manchester United, right? So in getting into the positives, Tahith Chong has renewed his contract at Manchester United, which I find somewhat interesting. Um, I already like I said in my couple previous videos long before that Tahith Chong, I don't think Tahith Chong will make it at Manchester United. That's just my gut instinct. But again, I hope to be proven wrong because I mean he's an academy player. We want him to do well. So yeah, but we have to be objective. Something I've been on about for the past 2 weeks. Objective and realistic. Not every academy player that's been released by Manchester, not released released from the academy into the first team will be a top star for Manchester United. Doesn't go that way. If that was the case, then Makeda would have been a legend, if a top player for Man United. If that was the case, Welbeck would still be at Manchester United. Or if he had left Manchester United, he would move on to greener grass because he was much of a great player. That's if, which wasn't. He went to Arsenal and he's now at Watford playing with the number 10. Um, Even Harrop, like a lot of persons were saying that when Harrop played the last game against Crystal Palace in Mourinho's first season, people were saying, "Yeah, Harrop is going to start for United next season." You mean Sheffield United? I mean, I mean, he left Manchester United to go to Preston North End in the summer. So, and he was, I wouldn't say he was like a baby type or Obatong type of player. He was somewhat, based on what I've seen, which was not much, quite a good player. He had tickers to his feet. He could do something with the ball, but he just wasn't good for Manchester United, and that's why he got released or sold. Like we think of Varela, and unfortunately, Lingard is going to fall into that category, and Andres Pereira in the summer. I think both of them are going to be sold because they're not good enough. They're not good enough. So my final thoughts on Tai Chung is that I haven't seen him. I've seen some excerpt play in videos of him when he's playing for the under 18 or even the under 23, and he looks somewhat good. But for the first team, bro, are you going to make a difference? Are you going to make an impact? Like Angel Gomez, if that's his name pronounced, um, or Mason Greenwood. I mean, Mason Greenwood came somewhat later on after Chum came, was realized or recognized as a player. And guess who has more goals for Manchester United's first team? Guess who is younger? Guess guess who has the most potential out of the two players? So my thought on Tai Chung is that I hope I can be proven wrong that he can be a good player for Manchester United. I hope to be proven wrong, but you never know in football. I mean, you can be on the way to Mount Everest and you just go into the whirlpool in the sea. They can just never tell. That's how fickle football is. So yeah, I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm happy about Dai Chung signing a new contract, but I find it interesting, somewhat interesting that he signed a contract considering his form for Manchester United. Um, okay, some United supporters, I said this in like 3 videos ago, if not four. I said most of you Manchester United supporters, and I still stick with this. Most of you United millennial supporters are not intelligent, not objective, and don't have a sense of football. And I still stick with that. Why am I saying this? In There's a stat that says Manchester United is unbeaten in 10 games. Unbeaten in 10 games. I don't know how true is that. I don't care to check, but I'll just take them at their words. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But some of you Manchester United supporters, bro, like I saw this picture on Twitter, right? And it said the person said Ole out, and that's where I'm going to get into my next topic. Person said Ole out as his account name. And he was basically saying, "Yeah, I love you, Ole, I love you for getting Bruno Fernandes. I love you, bro, I love you." What's that? What's that about, bro? What's that about? What's that about? One in one breath is saying Ole out, but now you want to say Ole in because he signed Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes has been a great signing. Hmm? That's the bell you're ringing over here, sir. Come on, bro. What the hell? What the hell? So, getting to my topic, is Ole at the wheel? Is he really at the wheel? Has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really turned things around for Manchester United? Manchester United, arguably or supposedly, are unbeaten in 10 games, conceded 3 goals, arguably, and scored over 10 goals, if not 10 goals. No, it couldn't be 10 goals because United beat Transmere 6-0, and yeah, they won again club group final in the second leg, so it couldn't be 10 goals, but it's over 10 goals. And sorry, my throat, coronavirus. Um, yeah, is has already turned the wheel. Has he turned things around? Has he won the stony hearts of Manchester United supporters? Because a lot of United supporters are probably giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer credit, but there are a few pighead supporters that are still with their statement saying, "Yo, bro, Ole is out, bro. Ole should leave, man. He's not good enough. The players are making him look good. The players are winning him matches, so he should leave. He should leave." I've mixed feelings on that because if you want to go that route, and I can go that route, if if you want to say that players make a manager look good, that means you have to say that Pep Guardiola in his first season for Barcelona, he was a nobody. He was a nobody. The players to Pep Guardiola's somewhat advantage. I'm going to give him somewhat of a, a compliment or goody goodies or candies or something in a compliment. To Pep Guardiola's credit, he sold players that weren't down with his program. Basically saying, I want you to drop back, I want you to do this, I want you to score the goals, I want you to set up, I want you to keep possession and play the balls in space. That's what basically he was saying to certain players. And certain players will say, bro, I ain't go take that shit. I ain't go do that for you. You are nobody. Who's you? Who's you? Because you manage Barcelona's under 18 or Barcelona's B team. That don't give you permission to tell me what to do as a top player. Who are you? I never heard about you. Well, Pep Guardiola played for Barcelona in Cruyff's best team. So that should say something, right? That should say something. But I don't know you, bro, as a manager. Who are you? You ain't gonna tell me shit. And that's why he got rid of Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, and this was a stupid signing from Pep Guardiola. If it was his sign, that was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. A player like Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the ego size of his nose and his ponytail at the back. Well, he didn't have a ponytail at the time. But a player with Zlatan's ego and personality, you cannot ask him to adhere to your program as a manager. If especially if you're a nobody. That's why you need to have power and influence as a manager. Power and influence as a manager. What do I mean by power and influence as a manager? For example, speaking of Pep Guardiola, when Eto went to Inter Milan, right? Inter Milan. Milito was the top striker at the time for Inter Milan, and he was playing up top. And Eto played right wing, I believe, if not left wing. Right wing or left wing. Essentially just basically a second striker. And he was basically saying, bro, I ain't gonna play left wing for no other manager other than my current manager. And guess who was the manager at the time for Inter Milan? Guess who? Guess who? Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. Why? Because he had power and influence. You see, when you have power and influence, players differ. Let me clear my voice. Players differ. What do I mean? What do I mean by differ? They submit to your program. So if I tell a ball, say, hey, you're playing right wing, and in terms of tactical analysis, I want you to drop back so you can play as a second right back. I don't want you to go that forward, but I don't want to go that deep as well. I want you to play somewhat as a coming back, coming forward. I want you to have that kind of work rate in terms of a player. That's what I want you to play. And you say, okay, manager, that's my strongest point, but anything for you, bro. That's when you have power and influence. when players submit to your program as a manager. Now, twisting this circle back to Pep Guardiola, Pep Guardiola wasn't a nobody. So if you want to say that players made managers, especially novice managers, look good, I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't gonna argue with you. Because Ole, if you want to say Pep Guardiola, if that see I'm kind of twisted. If Ole's players, if it's his players, make him good, then you have to say that Barcelona players at the time make him look good. To finish the credit that I given Pep Guardiola, he took out the big egos and took in more humble players, more subservient players, like not weak players, I would say, but like players that would submit to his program. That would be Pedro, not Fabregas. Fabregas was at Arsenal. Um, Pedro, Sergio Busquets, yeah, and other players, and they submit to his will. And I say, okay, bro, I'm from the B team, you're from the B team. Let's make this happen, and let's be B team together in the first team. That's your emo. That's what they're trying to say. Okay, bro, you were a manager for me in Barcelona's B team. Now that you have moved to greener grasses, okay, I'm a follow the program. See, I can say the same thing about Zidane. Nobody did know Zidane as a manager. He was second fiddle to Ancelotti. He was basically Ancelotti's bitch when they won the La Decima in 2014. But he wasn't good as a manager. Well, he was getting his managerial card, but you come on, bro. So if you want to say that players make Ole good, that means you have to say players under Zidane make him look good, and they won him Champions Leagues 3 times in a row. So if you want to go down that road, so yeah, I mean Ole. My thoughts on it is that Ole has somewhat changed the atmosphere as well as the players, particularly Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was a sign of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has changed the atmosphere for Manchester United, whether it's with the players or the fans, if not both. If not both. When Bruno Fernandes signed in the back end of January, a lot of fans like myself was ecstatic, but for me, skeptical because given the fact that United has a somewhat poor record of signing top players, especially in the January transfer window. They won't. It it go take them a while to submit or suit to that style of play. They not going to just follow suit just like that. They're going to need time to adhere to that style of play or adhere to the energy, the atmosphere of England. And Bruno Fernandes, ever since he signed, he's been PFA Player of the Month, 3 assists and 2 goals in the Premier League. That's a decent return. So going back to full circle because I want to get on Bruno Fernandes later on in this video. Has Ole turned the wheel, if you want to say that? Has he figuratively turned the wheel for Manchester United? Like again, I said that so it's more positive. The atmosphere more positive because of Bruno Fernandes. But to say he has turned the wheel, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has tactics to make players look good, not necessarily. Again, in the Manchester derby, like I said in my previous video that I uploaded yesterday, in the leading up to the first goal of Manchester United, United was second fiddle. City was beating them on the back door, and they almost scored, but they didn't. Sterling had a chance, Aguero had a chance, and follow with Martial goal. Manchester United had the upper hand. They had power. And ever since, no, you could say that City didn't have no tactics in that game because City, ever since the first goal was scored, bro, City was just, I mean, you know. But has Ole turned the wheel? Comments down in my comment section below, comment sections down below, if you believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have changed things for Manchester United in a positive way. Because I know there are some certain fans that are saying that he should still leave because the players are just making him look good. Sorry. So yeah, comment sections down below if you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have changed things for United for the better. Next is Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial has 16 goals in our competition this season. Yep. His best season for Manchester United, at least goal wise, was his first season for Manchester United when he played under Louis Van Gaal. Louis Van Gaal played Martial as a striker, if not a left wing striker. Left wing striker, like he played wide and he had someone else up top. Like Fellaini. He said that he would turn Fellaini in a number 9. LVG did say that. Memories, don't it? Um, so Martial has 16 goals this season, and he's playing up top for the majority of them. Sometimes he shifts wide, especially when Rashford isn't playing, to accommodate someone else up top or someone running from midfield, making the third man midfield run. Particularly if it's Lingard or someone that has a goal scoring threat or goal scoring ability. So my thoughts on Martial is that again, I think he's proven me wrong so far, which is good on him. Checkpoint for you, bro. 16 goals this season, arguably his best season. He has his number 9 back on the back of his t-shirt. So he's happy with that, I would like to believe. Um, but do I believe that Martial is the number 9 to take United forward? I have to wait until the end of this season to answer that question. But again, I know some of you guys are anxious and full of anxiety and it just knows and can't wait. So leave your comments down below if you believe that Martial is the striker to lead United forward, winning big trophies, the Premier League, the UCL, the Champions League. Always get mixed up with UCL and UCLA. Yeah. So is he the striker to bring United forward? Because some people are saying that Haaland should have been United's number 9. Yep. But again, I don't know. I don't know. You guys know better than me. So leave your comments down below if you think Marcel Marcel supposed to be. Will Marcel take United to higher levels, or he's just a darn bent type of striker? Comments down below. My last my last topic, which I touched on earlier already, is Bruno Fernandes. Is he the focal point of Manchester United's attack? We think of when we think of players that made that were the focal point. Notifications. Okay, I already knew that, but okay. Anyway, what's my train of thought? Shit. Yeah, when you think of players that were the focal point of their side's attack, if not their side, I guess. If you think of top players ever since the mid 60s, like Garrincha, when Pele was injured in the World Cup, Garrincha was the focal point of the attack and of the side. Manny Garrincha at the time, unfortunately, he's passed away, God bless him, was the focal point of Brazil's attack and the Brazil side period in terms of getting goals. They looked to him as that dude to score the goals, for him to make the difference on the pitch. This Brazilian journalist said there are two players that I've seen in my lifetime. That's what the Brazilian journalist was saying. He said there are two players that have made a big impact on the biggest stages, especially in the World Cup. Just two players. He said Mane Garrincha for Brazil and Diego Maradona in 1986. Two players going back to players that have influence and impact on being the focal point of their sides. Diego Maradona, despite the contrary, was a very good player for Brazil. Not Brazil, Argentina. Maradona was the focal point of Argentina's attack and of how they would carry the side. He would carry the side, sorry. I'm just upbeat because I'm very excited. I just want to finish this video because I have some things to finish up. So yeah, Maradona took Brazil through every took Argentina. I'm always on Brazil. Why? I guess probably because Edison gave Scott McTominay the goal. But that's a different story. He took Argentina through rounds. And he was that man. I mean, out of football, Diego Maradona was just the don. He was the daddy don data. Diego Maradona was that dude. He was just that dude. Lionel Messi. Not back before I go to Messi. What I mentioned him before. Messi after Ronaldinho. I wanted to talk about Ronaldinho. But Ronaldinho when he left Barcelona because of some personal problems with the president. The president said to Messi, bro, but he doesn't talk to his players like that, right? He said, look, Messi, you're going to be Barcelona's main man, main top scorer. I'm going to give you the number 10 because Ronaldinho has left. He's gone. You're going to be Barcelona's focal point in the attack, in the midfield, anywhere. You're just going to be that player. I'm not going to restrict a play. I'm going to take Pep. I'm going to tell Pep not to restrict a play. Play him in a full role. Play him as a false nine to impact the team. That was like a 21, 22-year-old Messi. Taking the burdens of Barcelona on his beard, on his not so broad shoulders. Because again, Messi is short. But when you think of players, getting back to Bruno Fernandes, players that was the focal point of a side. You think of players like Van Persie, that after Adebayor left, after Cesc Fabregas left, even Thierry Henry and Samir Nasri left, Van Persie was the main man for Arsenal since 2011 to 2012, which wasn't that much of a difference, like a 2-year difference or something. Players that not necessarily this side was a big side, but when you think of players that would drive the team because of one player, Bruno Fernandes, I believe, will be the player for Manchester United. Not saying that the rest of United players are crap. I'm not saying that. Well, some are. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you think of the man that will just grab the balls, grab the scruff of the neck, and slap you in the back of the head if you're not performing, that player is going to make a difference. Speaking of Thierry Henry was that player for Arsenal. Pretty much ever since the early noughties, ever since 2000 straight up to 2006. Thierry Henry was that player for Arsenal. They didn't. They won the Premier League, yes. Couple times, yes. They didn't. But without Thierry Henry, I mean, Arsenal would probably win some teeny top type of trophies like the FA Cup, which is not that bad of a trophy, or the Capital One Cup. You know. So I'm saying, is Bruno Fernandes going to be United's focal point in the attack and midfield? Comment section below as I close this video. Comment section down below. This your comment section down below. If you think Bruno Fernandes is going to be that player for Manchester United, I really believe so. But I don't. I hope when he does get the when he has that hype in terms of the team, it doesn't change the morality of the side. Like players are saying, look at him being the focal point of our attack, telling us what to do. Who is him? Who is him? You don't want that negativity. And this is why Real Madrid coming to close this video. Real Madrid, in terms of their galactical era, having top players like Zidane, Ronaldo, Beckham, Figo. All of those players had big egos, and I just rhyme. All of those players had big egos, but they weren't going to they wanted to do their own thing, and because they didn't want to be a unity side or have one player to be the focal point of how the side operates. Everybody wants to do what they want to do. They didn't win any trophies. I'm pretty sure they won games like pretty much convincingly, but it wasn't trophies, particularly for the club, probably personal trophies, but you know. So hope that energy doesn't come into United dressing room. I think it's very humble enough as it is, so I just hope it doesn't change. But yeah, so I'm just saying, I believe Bruno Fernandes is going to grab United by the balls. Even United is not playing well, he's going to inspire that team to play well. Even when Pogba leaves in the summer, which I believe he will. So that's my thoughts for this podcast. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. I'm gone.